Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right on to the next unit of Space Wolves. And first of all, I'd just like to say that I really appreciate you guys sticking around for this quite long series. Keep watching and commenting and stuff. It's been really great to see all those comments, and really helps me continue with this project. So yeah, I've just finished obviously the second unit of troops, and now I'm going to move on to the HQ so I can play a game. I want to have a quick chat about that. So first of all, just going back to the IDICBeer Codex, which is where my 13th Company Space Wolves are from. Now if you haven't seen this before, very limited in choice of what we could take, and in particular on the HQ front, it was just a Wolf Lord, a Rune Priest and a Wolf Priest, and I have two of each of those models, but the one I'm going to start with is the Wolf Lord. I'm going to start with him. I do have him on a bike, but I'm going to do the foot Wolf Lord because I think it'll just match with the two troops that are already painted. So obviously being 13th Company, there was no model for the Wolf Lord, so I had to convert one up. And I'm just about to show you the conversion. Let's just get that book out of the way. So this is the very old Space Wolves Codex, the one that I was sort of running alongside the Eye of Terror. And in here, the model that caught my attention was this one here, which was Ragnar Blackmane. And I thought he would be quite a good base for my Wolf Lord conversion. Now, bearing in mind that I did this conversion, I mean, to be fair, this is probably the first ever major conversion that I did. So let me just bring this guy in. Okay, so here he is. So yeah, I used Ragnar Blackmane's body, and decided I wanted to change his head around. Now this, to be fair, was a huge project. I bought an old metal wolf guard, and I decided I wanted to use his head, so I sort of sawed that guy in half, gradually clipped out and filed down his head. I managed to get that off the Mini. Now bearing in mind that these beard locks that are coming down were actually moulded to the chest of the other guy, so it was actually quite hard work getting that off, but I did manage to do it. I then clipped out the Blackmane head and fired it all down and managed to get that head in there, and I have to say I was really happy with that because like I said, that was a big conversion for me in those days, you know. And then I used this backpack with Logan Grimner's wolf pout, and I decided rather than having flags to put the wolf pout on there, a bit like my standard bearer. I think that looks really cool. Now I had to obviously chaos this guy up a little bit, and once again, green stuff wise, I hadn't really been using green stuff that much, but what I decided to do was make his leg down here into a chaos piece of armour. Now I have to be honest, it's probably not the most amazing green stuff work, but I'm still quite proud of it because it was my first ever piece of green stuff. Now I've been thinking about this. I do have the option just to rip this off and redo it. I think it's a little bit thick, and I could make that better, I think, but you know, it's my first ever piece of green stuff work, so I want to look back on it and say, yeah, you know, that's what I did first. So I've decided to actually leave it, even though I think I could make it better. I think once it's painted up, it should look okay. And I'm going to paint this up in Black Legion because I think it will just suit this the work that I've done on the green stuff with the gold green stuff and then the black inside. I think it will be better than having the black green stuff with the pink on the inside. So that's what I'm planning to do there. Now I have noticed that I've left a purity seal here. Now I'm not supposed to have purity seals on my 13th Company because of the fluff. So I think I'm going to go back in and maybe do sort of some wolf fur over the purity seal, just so that it's that sort of hidden. Right, so that's the guy. So now I need to talk about bases. Now I mentioned in a previous video about basing, and I really appreciate all the feedback and response I got on that, so thank you everyone. Basically there was two suggestions, either putting it onto a bigger Terminator base or keeping him on a 32mm base. So I ordered up some Terminator bases because I need to get some anyway for the future Terminators that I'm going to make, and these are them. Now, with the extra stuff on there, they're actually quite big, and putting this guy on there, I think, although obviously the big bases are nice, I do think that's a little bit too big. And the fact that, I mean, if he was in Terminator armour, I think, yeah, definitely on this bigger base, but the fact that he's just in power armour, I think I'm going to just put him onto a 32mm base. So that's what I've decided to do. But as he is a HQ, I'm going to beef up the base a little bit more. Now, I am slightly limited because his pose, he's literally just standing there dead straight. Now, if I start putting like a foot on a rock, he's going to be tilting over. I just don't think it's going to work, so I think he needs to be standing straight. So what I thought I would do, just to bring an extra piece of like chaos feel to it, because at the moment he's only got that one chaos leg, is I'm going to put a rhino on the base, and I'm going to make this into an Emperor's Children one, so I can do like some pink and black on the rhino. And now if I put this into there, now I have stripped the paint off this rhino because it was an old rhino that I had, put it into there, and I'm hoping that when I stand him on, I'm going to have one leg on the rock, one leg on the rhino. And I think that will beef up his base quite nicely and make him stand out a little bit more from the normal guys. And I said it gives me opportunity to put that pink in there along with his Black Legion leg. So that is where I'm up to. Now before, as I said, I can actually start painting this, I'm going to have to do this green stuff for the wolf section. I need to take off this base, drill some holes in his feet and pin them ready for painting, and then obviously spray these bits up, and I'm ready to go. So can't wait to get painting this guy, and as I said, once he's painted, I'll have just under 1,000 points, so I'm going to be ready for a game. So yeah, can't wait. Right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.